Hello everyone, so let's solve this strStr function on the LeetCode platform. So like we said, for the given condition, for the first condition that we discussed, that if the needle length is 0, then in that case we can return 0 and just assume that an empty string is part of the haystack or just part of the first part of the haystack, right? And then we discussed that if our needle is actually greater than the haystack, right? So in that case we can return -1 because we will never be able to find the needle in a haystack where the needle is greater than the haystack. And then we said like we will create a first index, let's call it I is equal to 0, and this will run through the entire haystack characters, and this is first index like we discussed. And the first condition that we discussed is if our current index plus the needle dot length, if this is actually greater than the haystack dot length, right? You can see in theoretical lectures in detail why we need this condition. This is actually an optimization. So if it is greater than the haystack length, then in that case we'll break. Otherwise we'll create a second index, let's call it j is equal to 0, and this index will run through the entire characters of the needle or run through the needle, and we check if our needle dot char at j, if it is not equal to haystack dot char at I plus j, just add 2 or I. Let's keep the I same as it is. We'll only move the j here, increment j here. So in that case, if the character at index j in needle, if it is not equal to the corresponding character in haystack, then in this case we can break. Otherwise we'll keep incrementing our j. And we said like if the j is equal to needle dot length, which means that all the characters in needle is equal to the characters in the haystack from the index I, right? So in that case we have to return our I. And one more thing that we should not forget to increment our I. We have incremented our j, we have incremented our I, and then finally if we never find such a needle in a haystack, then in that case we can return -1. So this concludes our algorithm. Thank you. Let's just run it once to see if this actually works. It does for the sample test cases. Let's just submit it now. So it runs successfully. Thank you.